Don't buy one of these lenses. The seller from the camera store told me. This is a hard lens to use. You'll not get pictures with this. You need a normal lens, like a 35mm lens, and so on. So don't be dumb, don't buy it. But after my long time experience in using these lenses, and these focal lenses especially, I want to share with you why. Why do you need such a lens, and why I do think that it's a must-have lens in your arsenal. Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel, Tudor Matescu here. I have here a lens that is helping me have ideas on the street. Is this lens that it's a slowish lens that also the reviewers are telling you not to buy it, but after using it on Fujifilm X Pro 3, X-T5 and so on, I've got very good results. Also here, look how small it is. I have an equivalent lens on the Micro Four Thirds system, and this small little lens was my first lens that I was advised not to buy it because it's a dumb lens, it's a dumb focal lens, it's hard to use it for a beginner. But I want to touch in this video why this isn't true. Of course, probably it can't be your only lens, but it's a must-have lens when you have no inspiration, a must-have lens. So the lenses, and especially the focal lenses that I will treat in this video, are lenses that have a 90mm equivalent field of view. And I want to touch on this, not 85mm field of view, like this TT Artisan 56mm f1.8 that on a APS-C body will give you around 85mm equivalent field of view in full frame terms, not like Sigma 56mm f1.4, again an equivalent of 85. The 85 could work, but the focal lens that I want to touch on it's the 90mm focal lens. And here it is Sigma 90mm f2.8 on full frame. So you are able to see that I have some lenses in these systems that are touching the same focal lens. And I want to share with you also my experience in using all these lenses in all these systems. Micro Four Thirds, APS-C and full frame. So the sweetest spot, it is the 90mm. If you can't find and if you don't have the budget for a 90mm, then you can go for an 85mm. But this Sigma on full frame, it has a great price and the f2.8 aperture is not a problem. Also is the case with this lens. It has an f2.4 aperture and it's a 60mm f2.4 on Fujifilm. So a 90mm in full frame terms. But because you have the 90mm field of view and also you have better compression depending on the system that you'll use, you'll have better subject to background separation from my point of view compared to an 85. So the extra millimeters will help you have similar depths of field if you are into portraits. And it will also help you make better decisions on the streets when you want to take portraits or when you want to take fine art photography or detail photography. The 90mm, it is a more decisive lens. It helps you think better about what you want in that field of view. Also the 85 is working, but the 90 it is up there, it is very decisive with your composition, so you must be very exactly in your composition. So if you are liking composition, if you are liking photography, then I would go with this lens, but again also the 85 could work. So why these dumb lenses are helping me take better pictures on the streets? So first of all, it's about the angle of view. It's a more decisive angle field of view, how I've said. And if you don't have any ideas, if you aren't able to see in that day a character or something like this lens will help you be there, will help you see better. Let's say you don't have inspiration in that day. Let's say you are tired, you aren't in the mood, you don't have the mojo working, and you aren't in the mood to get close to people and so on. So the 90mm will help you see better if you are into character photography, if you are into portraiture photography. It will help you see better. It's very easily because you'll be in the face, in the portrait without getting it close. And I know some photographers are criticizing this because it's not personal, you feel the distance. I do not agree with this. Of course, the proximity effect is important, but also with a 90mm lens, you can have the proximity effect if you are getting it really close. So this is very important. And also the 90mm is very important because it will help you, how I've said, see what you aren't able to see. Because it will take you there. It will take you out of your normal field of view, out of your 35, 40, 50mm field of view. And in days when you don't have inspiration, because let's say you are not traveling and you are over and over again photographing the same scenes, the 90mm will help you be in another world because we'll bring people, buildings and things closer. And now we are getting to the next tip. The 90mm is bringing things closer. You have the compression of a 90mm focal length, but depending on the system, of course, you'll have on a Fujifilm the compression of a 60mm focal length, and on a Micro Four Thirds system, you'll have the compression of a 45 focal length, millimeters focal length. Is this a problem? For fine art street photography, for casual portraits, I don't feel that there is a problem. You'll not lose with this small Micro Four Thirds what you think you could lose if you don't use a full frame camera and a full frame lens. Of course, when I first started, I was thinking that I'm losing a lot. I didn't have a full frame lens. I will not have the compression. The YouTubers will tell me that I will not have the compression. It will not be the same. It's a crop. It will be terrible. But after years and years of using all these three systems and all these lenses, I feel that in real world use and in real world results, I'm betting if I'm showing you pictures, portraits or fine art pictures and nice compositions with all these lenses from all these three systems, you'll not be able to differentiate them apart. You'll not be able to do this. So yes, the focal length is playing a role. Of course, with a full frame lens, you'll have a better compression and probably you want this, and I'm not saying that you will not have an advantage, but the advantage is not so big as you can imagine. The advantage in compression in the end is not so big. Yes, regarding the sharpness, this is very sharp, also this is very sharp, but also this is pretty sharp for how small it is. So again, in real world use, I'm not seeing much differences in image quality and in compression if you are not nitpicking like crazy. So of course there's differences, but if you are not nitpicking like crazy and if you want to be on a budget, the Micro Four Thirds will do almost the same photography as other lenses for you. This small lens, and it's very small. Now, how to make these lenses make better pictures for you? You make better pictures, not the lenses. You must think also about the foreground when you are using these lenses. So think about foreground, not background, because all the YouTubers and the reviewers will tell you, look how melted is the background, look how melted it's the bokeh, look how smooth is the bokeh. The bokeh doesn't matter too much if you want to make better pictures. If you want to make better pictures with these lenses, think about foreground. Have a foreground between you, the subject, and the background. The foreground is helping you have a greater picture than a banal picture. You can take a portrait with this lens. Wow, how good it's looking, how great it is, the portrait. But include the foreground. If you include the foreground in your picture will already be better. It's easy. Just look at a foreground that you can include and look also to have a nice background without distraction elements. You do not need a very smooth bokeh. You need to have no distraction elements behind your subjects, like white elements, like poles that are white and bright, like wires, like lights that can distract from your subject. So it's important for you to choose with your eyes a good foreground and a good background, and use these lenses to get the foreground and the background close and include somewhere a subject of movement and action. And this will help you make better pictures with these dumb lenses. The next tip is that these lenses will make you invisible. So if you are anxious in street photography, if you are just starting it out, these lenses will not make you feel like a sniper if you aren't so stressed about it. These lenses will make you be invisible when you aren't in the mood in interacting with people and when you want to keep some distance. There are some days when you want to be a poet in your own mind, in your own state of mind, and you don't want to walk fast. Maybe you can't walk fast. Maybe you have an age, maybe you have a problem, and you can't walk fast and move fast like a younger photographer is moving with a 35mm lens. So these lenses used well and learn their abilities will help you be in your own pace without needing to run on the streets to get close to take the shot and move on. So this focal lens will help you have a more meditative way of taking pictures. Just take your time, find a nice foreground, find a nice background, find a nice light and take the picture. This is really important because these lenses will give you time to think about your composition. Also, this is the next tip, and this is a limitation of these lenses. They aren't fast lenses when you are seeing a subject near you. You really need to train your eye to see far away with these lenses or to find your spots. You can't use these lenses as an everyday walk around lens. I'm seeing something, I take a picture and move on. These aren't snap lenses. They can be used as a snap lens when it's an airy day, you have some space and you have time to see in front of you. So from time to time this could disturb you because again, it's not a snap shooting lens, it's more like a sniper lens, and these lenses will force you to think about composition. You need to think before this. You need to think about background, you need to think about foreground, you need to think about light and about elements. Soul Lighter, it was a master of these lenses, and you really must look at Soul Lighter photography to see what I'm talking here. Now, the best focal lens that you can pair with this lens, it's a wide focal lens. So this is why I'm saying this lens, it will illuminate you when you don't have inspiration. My go-to kit with just two lenses, it's made from a 28mm lens or a 24 and a 90mm lens. And the ironical part is that when I first started to be more serious into photography, I started with the small Olympus lens, that it's a 90mm lens, and in my bag I had the Fujifilm X100 original Fine Pix. So I had OMD M10 Mark II and Fine Pix X100 Mark I, let's say like this. It was a very crazy small package, crazy small and crazy portable. So I think it was beginner luck, because nowadays looking back in time, I was seeing that yes, I had all that I needed when I first started photography. But there wasn't an influencer there to advise me well. All what you need to make great photography, it's a wide lens, 24, 35, 28, and a 90mm lens or an 85mm lens. Of course, you can go wider if you want to make fine art photography, dramatic fine art photography, by using the wide angle and not just documentary photography. And for this I have a video where I'm sharing you tips and tricks on how to use a very wide angle lens to get nice fine art street photography, and how to choose pictures and how to keep the best pictures and how to sync a scene. So please check the next video to see more tips and tricks about wide angle fine art street photography. Subscribe to my channel, give it a like, share my videos, and check my affiliate links if you want to buy something from the gear that I'm using from Amazon. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.